So do we need to reintroduce ourselves again for the second one?
No, we'll just roll. We'll cut it. Say part 1, part 2. Keep the momentum going.
The sponsor side of the industry, it's a side of the industry that we're both pretty new to, and
I don't know if I'd say new to it. I'm familiar with it
you're
in a
more
different
familiar with it
in a different way as
yeah.
a business owner
Yeah.
of a tackle shop when I own Tackle Addict. But from the angler's perspective,
Yeah.
boy, do I have a whole different outlook on it now. But yeah, I mean, I'll let you start because I think we're in two totally different. You're much better at it than I am.
Well, I've been on the angler side of it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, true. But you are doing a better job at it. I haven't really even tried. So
yeah, I think
that's my fault.
I think of a lot of it, and I think the most important thing as a guy that's trying to like start. You know, if you're watching this and you're somebody who's trying to start, maybe you're a high school kid or, Lord, that's a whole other subject. Maybe you're a high school kid or just a younger guy or maybe a guy looking to get into it. Look, I've gotten multiple questions from guys that have messaged me or asked me about sponsor questions. I'm like, dude, it's like, I don't think you realize how fortunate I am or how blessed I am because it really comes down to a lot of the people who you know, but like your non-industry sponsors. Like if you're not a big name and you're not one of the top pros, which is the majority of us, those guys are going to be the guys that carry you. Like Strike King and Berkeley or 6 Cents, all those guys, those top bait guys, the top rods, lines, whatever, they're not going to come knocking down your door if you're not one of the top guys in the sport, and it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to do that to begin with, and that's just the God honest truth. So, I think that's where a lot of, especially young guys, and I, probably had those thoughts too when I was doing high school fishing because I did high school fishing, college fishing, and now at this level. But the biggest mistake there is just like expecting those guys to give you something that's actually going to help you. They might give you maybe a deal on a couple rods or some line or something, but they're not going to actually help you financially where it really matters.
Well, there's an illusion out there, and speaking to the, high school and collegiate anglers and, grassroots guys, there is this illusion that there's all this money to be had out there. Like you just
not from industry guys,
no.
Really not in general, but like the industry guys, man, like
it's more competitive than ever.
Like I see a lot of younger guys, and the first thing they'll do is like, oh, but we won the state championship and we won AOY and this and we finished the top 5 and dude. No, that doesn't matter.
As harsh as it sounds.
No, they don't care, dude. Not the industry guys. I mean, that's great, and I'm glad you're catching them. But the best thing to do with those results is just like let them speak for themselves, and just keep your head down and just keep catching them, and like that's not gonna draw in any like big name sponsors. You have to like I said, it doesn't make sense for those big companies like the big rod line bait companies to invest their sponsor dollars into anyone but the top guys that are able to sell their product, because in our sport, who are you going to listen to about actual products in the industry? You're going to listen to the top guys,
Yeah.
And guides and stuff of that nature. They have a little bit more value because they're putting product in people's hands and stuff like that. I think a lot of my deals have actually came through guiding. I mean, it has 100% guiding's helped me out a lot through, and I should probably add that in there too. Was helped me out with industry guys like Casey and 6 Cents and those guys. Like no doubt that they probably saw value from me as a local guy around this area who had good tournament results, but more than that, it was the guiding thing. I think that was like putting product in people's hands and letting them use this stuff. Like that was a humongous deal as well. plus the social media aspect of it, to where like pushing their product. I feel like I've done a decent job of that as well. So all of that combined makes it worth their time. You know, all of that. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff going on.
I think you're getting to it about being a package as an angler.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't disagree with you, but like, yes, the big names are getting the lion's share of what's
Industry
out
guys.
there.
Yeah.
But now, even them, you look at a guy like Polinick. Yes, Polinick's an absolute hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, he catches them all the time. He's won AOYs. He's won elite events. Probably only a matter of time before he wins a classic.
Yeah.
But he is, not only is he a great angler, he is a total package. I mean, the guy's
his YouTube
socials,
channel,
his
yeah.
YouTube channel is huge. And so
Yeah, you're right.
that's what they require of you. And I'm a little bit older than you, and I had the illusion too. Well, I'm just going to roll right in and start catching fish, and sponsors are just going to be
Coming to you.
calling me all the time, man.
Yeah.
Good job on your second place finish the opens. You know, good job, man. We want to sponsor you. We want to give you all this stuff. We want to give you all this free stuff. We want to give you all this money. No, no. Catching them is, to me, I'm going to say the easy part.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy sounding. I think it's getting a little like off kilter, the balance of what they're looking for. And the bottom line, they're all looking for the same thing: ROI, return on investment. They want somebody who is, if we're going to give you X amount of dollars, we need to be able to sell whatever that is, that multiple of that amount, to recoup that and be profitable off of you. They don't want to just give you money because they like you and because they think you're a good fisherman. They want you to sell product for them. Now, your non-endemics may be a little different. They want to support an angler. They're in a position financially to do that.
That's exactly where mine come from.
Maybe their interest, their return on investment is, are you going to help sell somebody shingles if a roofing company's sponsoring? Maybe not, but they might be able to use some promotional time with you on the water to, wine and dine and take one of their vendors out. That's the thing. But the bottom line, it comes into the return on their investment in you, especially for the industry sponsors. So what I'm saying is getting a little lopsided is you got guys that are phenomenal at social media, great YouTube channels, good Instagram, Facebook, all the platforms, TikTok, but maybe don't catch them that well in the tournament scene, but just catch them well enough to stay in there. But their socials really carry them further than a guy, let's say, who catches them
and has no
but
social media.
Has no social.
Oh, you're 100% correct. That's the way the industry has gone. I mean,
that's what they want. I mean, you got to be the complete package. They want Polinics. They want you to catch them, and they want you to have good followings on socials. And if you're not going to catch them, you better have a good following on socials. I think you're more likely to get better sponsors if you have better socials than tournament finishes, which is crazy sounding to me, versus if you have good tournament finishes but no socials.
I mean,
I'm not a social guy.
That's the truth. I mean, it is. And you see a lot of guys that don't even fish tournaments at all doing well.
Yeah. But so I on a little self-reflection here, looking at next season, I'm like, I have to step up the game. Doesn't matter if I qualify for the elites this year or win one, or if I win the last three. If I don't step up and become a total package and put in the work, and really that's what it is. It's work. It's going to be work to me because I wouldn't say I don't like doing that stuff. Honestly, I don't know how,
it is work. I'm not saying it's like manual labor or anything.
But it is work. I mean, if you look at the guys that have the bigger social followings, it's like they're busting their butt to do that.
100%.
I mean, they're posting every day, stories, reels.
The YouTube thing is like, that's a lot of work.
I mean, yeah, it's so much work, and but you have to.
Yeah, I don't even have.
You're not even
gonna
get considered.
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube channel. Neither do you. Like, we don't have channels.
But we need to.
Yeah,
we got the juice with 500 subscribers.
Well, we do have this. That's true. That is true.
No, but so these are the things that we need to leverage. You know what I mean?
But it all,
I feel like this sounds different.
It all leads back to what you're talking about, the more of the total package deal, and that's where I don't know why it's maybe not talked about as much or brought to light, but that's the hardest part of this. I mean, I can't do it every year, and I say it all the time. You know, I tell Brandon all the time that, you know, Ted, those are two of my biggest financial sponsors. Like, I thank them all the time because, like, dude, I literally couldn't do it without y'all, and that's the God honest truth. Because, you know, guys like that, if they're gone, then I'm can't continue to go, and it's not like that for everybody. But I would say that it's probably a pretty good chunk of guys that without their backing of guys like that, that they probably couldn't continue to go either. I'd say that's probably a big majority. Now there is some, and because I've seen them fishing the invitationals, like there's several people out there that if they didn't have a single sponsor, it wouldn't matter, you know, because of family money or, you know, businesses that maybe their family has ran for years, stuff like that pays for it. But I don't think that's the majority. Like, I don't. I think the majority is struggling and fighting tooth and nail to make it. And I'm talking about your full-time guys. Like, I ain't talking about weekend warriors. I'm talking about full-time guys that are trying to do it as a profession. I think the majority are fighting and clawing for every inch and every dollar. But you do have a few, you know.
No, and if you are in that position, I mean, that's great. I mean, that's awesome. I don't have any.
Nope.
Because there is some of that negative connotation around that. People be like, well, you know, they just got wealthy parents. What was like, well, so
Yep.
what? So what? They have different opportunities. Everybody's gonna have different opportunities and be in different places and be able to do different things.
As long as they're working hard and realizing the opportunity they have, and
but eventually, if they do get to the elites or the BPT, they're gonna have, you know, they're gonna need to do the total package thing. So I think to those, you know, younger people or people that are trying to get into this, because I'm kind of like you, have had some people reach out to me like, hey man, like, I want to fish the MPFL next year, and I need some sponsor advice. I'm like, well, you're talking to the wrong person. But maybe not, in the sense that I do see what it takes and what you need to do, and like we said, being a total package. But going out there, and I think every single one of us has maybe been guilty of this, myself included, going out there and, you know, sending out your media kit or whatever just to people, and it almost feels kind of embarrassing, kind of have your hand out asking for something. But, and I've done a lot of reflection on this lately. What are you really offering them?
Yeah.
You're asking something, but really you need to look at it a different way. And I think I need to start doing this too, is you need to look at it as what do I have to offer you as a company? And maybe sometimes we need to back up and prove our worth first versus, well, I'm not going to make a post about, you know, this lure because they don't give me anything. Well, that's probably the wrong attitude. I don't know, man. I don't know what the right way, but I think you need to look at it from that way. What can I offer them?
No, you're 100% right.
So I definitely need to step up my game.
No, you're 100% right. But I think, like, the non-industry guys, it's like you can only offer them so much.
Yeah, you really want you got to get lucky and find somebody that wants to just kind of help you out.
Yeah, and believes in you.
Yeah. I mean, there are companies out there that they have budgets for that kind of thing. Like, they're going to send them on guided fishing trips and hunts, even though I know that's kind of getting tighter on some of the stuff. But they, you know, that kind of stuff still goes on. And so they do have budgets for that. I'm like, well, hey, let's support this guy, and we'll send 3 of our clients out with them, whatever. So there is value in that, and I encourage people to go out and look for non-endemics because you're going to need it.
Oh, you got to have it.
I don't even know if some of the top guys don't have non-endemic support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say
definitely
majority of guys out there that are making some kind of sponsorship dollars probably have some non-endemic sponsors, some non-industry sponsors. support, and I had a little bit this year, but Robert and Eva, thank you. They own a pallet company.
There you go.
There's their shout out. Super nice people, but you know, other than that, Skeeter, I've got a great relationship with Skeeter. I feel like I'm, you know, very, very thankful for them and what they do for me. But as far as other things, I feel like if you really want to be honest about it, you got to step up and be the whole package. Got to have the YouTube, the Instagram. It's not as much what can they do for you. It's how can I sell product for these companies?
Yeah. And the reality of it is it's freaking hard, man. Like that, I don't know how else to say it because the YouTube game's so saturated, the sponsor game is so saturated, the social media game is so saturated.
It's all
like
the same.
How do you find a place there? And for me, the only answer I would have for that is this is just me. What I try to do is I just try to keep my head down and do my thing, and hopefully from there, you know, I like, dude. There's so many times that I see some of these just people just like comments on Facebook, you know, almost just poking the bear a little bit, like where where I could type something back, or maybe even if I've had times where I've had something typed up, where that would definitely put these people in their place, and I'd probably be
Like comments?
yeah, like I'd probably be right at the end of the day because they have no idea what they're talking about.
Are you talking about like posts or like comments on your stuff?
No, posts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like people that just talking about stuff they have no idea that they're talking about, and it like I don't
Engage.
I don't engage ever.
Oh, it's so hard not to.
So hard too, man. But that all rolls back into this because you can't be out there doing stuff like that. You just can't.
No,
As bad
they're
as you
going to
want
see
to.
that kind of stuff.
You
man.
can't do. I'm telling you,
You can't be a bully.
there's guys that are known as like freaking Facebook keyboard warriors, and they don't. It ain't a good.
No,
look.
that's not a good. We all want to say what we want to say, but
No, and you know what? You know, a lot of those guys, they don't really need sponsors or for any reason, and they don't care, which I get. That's a great, good for them. That's a blessing. But
yeah.
But like a lot of that stuff, that's the kind of stuff you've got to like I said, keep your head down.
Do you ever
mind your own?
Do you ever
Mind
feel
your own.
like when you're making a reel or a video or something, because you kind of touched on something there, like how do I stand out? Do you ever just feel like this is so stupid? Like there's 1,000 of these posts out there right now. How do I make mine stand out? How do I make mine stand out? Like I think about this daily.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. Like I was going to go, matter of fact, today I was going to go make a little reel or a little video, a little short video, and I haven't done it. And here I am procrastinating a month later. I wanted to brag on Seagar Gold Label Leader. I was using that at St. Lawrence and dragging it up, nicking it up. And I wanted to make a video because I really, truly do believe in the product. But I talk myself out of it every time because I'm like, well, it's been done 1,000 times, so I'm just going to be another video out there.
Mhm.
But maybe that's my own insecurities, not just putting that stuff out there.
Yeah, no, you
but-
got to just put the blinders on and do what's
and
best.
go. But
Be honest.
do you ever feel
and-
like that?
Yeah, sometimes. But I've done a lot of stuff on my own social media page, like Instagram, especially about, you know, products for 6 cents and stuff. And stuff that I really believe in stuff, so I don't really care, you know,
Yeah.
what anybody else thinks. Or if they're like, well, that's stupid, I'm not going to try that. Well, then whatever.
I don't know, man. I find myself talking myself out of it all the time, and I got to get over that. I do it. I'm just like,
Oh, you got to put the pride aside in this sport, like, for sure.
yeah.
Because-
Because it's just trying to stand out, too. I don't.
Oh, no, I
I
agree
don't
with
have
that.
the answer.
That's hard.
I don't have the answer to that.
Well, there's stuff you can do, man. Like you look at the standouts, and they have all their own things. Like Joey Cifuentes, he wears a freaking cowboy hat. Nobody, a lot of people. He said it the other day. A lot of people don't even know his name, but they know he's a cowboy.
The cowboy that caught him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stuff like that.
No, for sure. And he's, you know, I mean, that's an example of somebody who just shot at it like a rocket, started smashing them. He's, you know, and if you pay attention to socials, though, he is taking full advantage of that. He is constantly
100%.
posting. He is
100%. He knows that. He said it.
He's got
I've
a
heard him say
platform,
it.
and he is going to.
They did win 2 Elite Series events in his rookie season too, so that helps. But
Jeez.
like it's just stuff like that. Like I had a camera guy with me the final day of the Potomac River, and Barrett. His name's Barrett, and he came over the other day, and I was watching that film. I'm like, God, I really don't want to put this out because I feel like I'm acting like an idiot. Like I'm acting. I was like, God, dude, like act like you've been there, bro.
Yeah,
But no, dude,
my first time,
dude. Like I was like, because I was showing pure raw emotion, how excited and how happy I was, and this is like, dude, it's freaking funny. Like I'm acting like a total idiot, and it is funny, but it's almost like embarrassing for me. I'm like, God, I don't know if I want everybody to see how I was acting at this event, but it probably would be a good thing to let that out because like that's me. And not everybody acts like that.
Yeah,
And
I think you got to do that.
it's a good thing, you know. It's a good thing, you know. I feel like I look like an idiot. I'm acting like an idiot, but it's just, you know, that's me. Like that's how excited I was about doing well, and you could tell like in my emotions towards the end of the event. I was like, dude, that's a top 10 for sure, probably a top 5.
Yeah,
Like you could tell, like I was freaking excited, I was happy, and that's the raw emotions that people want to see, and. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I think you got to be you because everybody's trying to, dude, they're not themselves. This industry is full of people that are scared to be themselves, full of it.
I can't do the corny salesman thing.
Dude,
I can't do that.
Yeah, you got to be yourself, man.
I think so. I agree with that. You got to be yourself, but you're also worried about being marketable, right? So you're like, oh, you know, are these companies going to like that? But they like. It seems like they like the kind of corny sales.
You can
thing.
be yourself.
I just can't do that.
You can be yourself, but if you're an idiot like me, you got to be yourself to an extent.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know me, I'm a goober, so
yeah. Like I said, like when I'm sitting there watching the video of Bear, I'm like, hey, dude, like, there's like 5 cuss words in that. You're gonna have to bleep those. You're gonna cut that. You can't. Like,
no, I mean that kind of stuff. I mean, you got to be careful with that.
You know, like you got to bleep. I told Bear, you got to take that out or bleep it, dude. Not gonna happen.
You got to market it. You got to be able. You want to be able to market yourself to 10-year-olds to 80-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can't narrow yourself down.
He's got this.
You can.
This one part, he's got me like freaking putting in a fat dip. I'm like, bro, you got to take that out. I was like, I get it. Like I've got to dip in talking. You can leave that, but don't put the part in where I'm actually.
We're actually doing it. You don't want like a Grizzly sponsor or something.
It was huge, humongous dip.
You're feeling it.
I'm gonna quit.
Whatever.
But yeah, man, we got off on a tangent there. But
no, but that's you want to talk about being real? We're being real. We're just laying it all out here.
That's the sponsor.
I feel like, you know, we're just being honest. We're giving honest opinions based on, you know, and I've tried, and I'm reflecting back now, and I'm like, God, that was so stupid. I've sent some emails, built these little media kits. I'm like, I'm just like every other dude that I encountered on the other side of that desk of, hey, what are you willing to give me?
I think very few people they don't go in person and talk to anybody though.
No, it's hard. It's hard to, especially reaching out all over. But man, I don't know. Got to get better at it. If I figure out the code, the algorithm, whatever it is, I'll share it with you. But right now,
well,
I don't have
reality
a clue,
is,
man.
Reality is, like you said, it takes a whole package. So when you step back and start looking at everything, like I know for me, these thoughts go through my mind all the time. It's like, dude, is all of this, now that you know all of it, I'm talking about everything.
Yeah.
Is it really worth it? That goes back to, like, how bad do you really want it? And I've heard multiple guys talking about this. Like, I just listened to the Bilge podcast with G-Man. I think they put it out today or yesterday because I listened
yesterday.
to it
I didn't listen to it yet.
Listened to it this morning. And it's like, he was really real, like, you better want it because it is getting almost impossible to make it. Very hard. Harder than it's ever been. G-Man said that for sure.
Did he mean on
everything?
I want to listen to it. Did he mean like on the
everything?
Your ability to catch them?
All of it. Catching them,
marketing.
It's harder now than it ever has been. That's undeniably the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he talked about his nephew who fishes the opens.
Mm-hmm.
He said that when he came to him, he's like, you're going to have to put the blinders on, dude. If you want to make it, you got to be all in. You got to put the blinders on because if you start looking, he's basically saying you're like this. If you're not like this and you start to open up and start looking, you're going to start freaking out pretty much because it's like you got to be like this. Tunnel vision, this is what I'm going to do because if you're not, if you start opening your mind and you ain't got these blinders on, you start opening your eyes and saying, well, Jesus Christ, this is hard. How am I going to do it? Well, how am I going to do that too? Well, how am I going to do this? You're done. If you're not tunnel vision and you don't have your your eyes set exactly to what you want to do, and you leave those blinders on. I thought that was a really good point by G-Man because he is totally right. It doesn't get any easier ever. And, he talks about these stories he's been doing for 25 years, and it's like, golly, you got to ask yourself if you want that because it's forever. It's never ending. It's not like, I don't know. It just never ends. The grind never stops. And for me, this is my first year doing it at this level, and you really get to see everything because now it's like everything, man. Like, good God, the interest rates are skyrocketing. Selling your boat's harder than it's ever been. Getting a new boat with new interest rates harder than it's ever been. Boats are going up. Gas is going up. Trucks, interest rate on you got to have a dependable truck going up and down the road. Interest rates are high on them. Like, things that, like, just everything affects it. Everything, man. Travel costs. How expensive it is to travel across the country now. And then when you're actually at the event, if you can block all that stuff out of your head, like, what do you need to be having income monthly to afford all that stuff? If you can block all that stuff out of your head, then you got to worry about catching them. And then on a place you've never been in your life, if you can get, like I said, if you can get all that out of your head, you're willing to sacrifice probably relationships in your life that a lot of people aren't willing to. So, like, friendships, family, like people that you're just not going to be able to talk to them nor see them as much as you ever wanted to. So you got to be willing to sacrifice that. And like I said, once you can get all that out of your head and you're at the event and you got 2 or 3 days to figure them out on a place you've never been in your life, then you might have a chance to make it. Because it's like, it really is. It's everything, dude. And there's probably a lot of stuff I left out, but it's everything. All that goes through that a lot of people don't. They just watch, live, and that's all they see. They see the final product of you on tournament day.
The end result, the weights, that's it.
That's it. That's all anybody else sees. And, like, dude, it's a lot.
Not the process of getting there.
I got a whole new respect for these guys. Like, if you've made it in this sport, dude, you've done something really special. Yeah. Like, you're special. You've done really special. It ain't, and because I grew up around Rayburn, and I'm glad I did, and it's a very competitive place, but it's got a lot of opinionated people around it that really just have no clue, and really, and I didn't either. I thought I might have known, but now I do for sure because I see these guys, and I know guys that have been around the sport a long time. I got to talk to a lot of those people on the road, and, like, you really realize how much they've sacrificed, with relationships, financially, all this stuff, and it's just a whole newfound respect, and it's almost like you got to be a little crazy about it to really make it. Like, and that's, just if you're not coming from, like, the best stuff, if you've got a lot, some people got a lot more on the line than other people as far as financial concerned. But all that aside, it's a lot. It is a lot. And that's probably the biggest question I asked myself this year, being real, is like, are you sure? Because if we're going to do this next year, you better be sure. It's either stomp on the brakes or stomp on the gas.
I understand that sentiment 100%.
It's one of those two, bro. We ain't gonna be like driving in the slow lane, stopping every 10 minutes.
No, honestly,
it's either we're stopping on the brakes now, and we're gonna bring this thing to a halt and stop, or we're gonna go.
One of my kind of regrets of this season so far, and I still got 3 left, but it has nothing to do with the fishing side. It has to do with the sponsor side and the promotion side. I have had ample opportunities, and, like, I wish, not that I half-assed it, but, like, I kind of did, right? I was like, kind of like, I think I almost kind of did it more like a security blanket, like, to protect myself in case I just absolutely bombed and I didn't want to ever talk about it again. But, man, like, think about the season. I look back on them like, if I would have just not been even lazy, I'll use the word lazy. Mm-hmm. If I would have just put forth the effort to document more and engage more, I think I'd be miles ahead of where I am now. And so it's just like you said, I'm either pulling out and we're hitting the eject button, we're done, we're just going to come back to doing local stuff, guiding, whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking about from a professional standpoint. I ain't talking about fishing in general.
We'll fish, obviously.
I'm talking about professional,
if I'm going back next year, I'm not doing it the way I did this year. and I've learned that. I'm going to move on from that. So next year it's got to be full on, like you said. It's either going to be gas pedal all the way down, YouTube, Instagram, all of it, and like you said, that's probably great advice from Swindle there. But like, put the blinders on. Don't worry about. There's always going to be hate on social media. It's not even that. It's be authentic. Put it all out there, and you got to document. You got to be the full package. You got to do it. But like I said, don't half-ass it.
100%, because you're going to get your ass kicked.
You might win. You might win tournament money.
Yeah.
But what are you going to have to show for it at the end of it?
Yeah.
You're not going to be anywhere further in your career as a professional.
Yep. That's what I learned about a lot of the guys I got beat by this year.
Dang.
I learned
like we just had therapy session
from all the guys I got beat by this year. I'm like, damn, he's not fucking around.
Speaking of bleeping that out.
Oh, my bad. He's not messing around. You can bleep that out.
We got to bleep that out.
But you look at the guys, bro. They're not
younger fan base.
The guys that were above me that I saw, anyways, the guys that qualified this year, even Marshall Robinson, that's a kid.
He qualified for the BPT, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a kid that's all in. Keith Carson. The guys I compete against that I noticed that were like legitimately like they can compete. I don't care where they're at, the elites, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like those guys like Marshall and
stand up.
And Ron and John Cox and the Wheelers, like competing against all those guys this year, and you see it in them. Like there is no second thoughts. There's no should I be doing something else. Like they know what they need to be doing and why they're there. And it kind of go back to what you said about the blinders, like the social media hate and stuff like that. You're gonna have people that hate on you. You got to go in knowing that. Really, that's whatever you do. But fishing's bad about it. Like you're gonna have people talk bad about you or whatever. You got to know that going in. So that's a given. You got to write that one off at the beginning. It's like, hey, this is a given. People are not gonna.
Not everybody's gonna be a fan.
Not everybody's gonna be a fan of you, and that's okay. The main blinders you got to put on is the realities that are surrounding you. Like that's what G-Man's talking about. The realities that are surrounding you. The reality is, it's very hard to make it.
Oh,
yeah. And like I said, all the things I mentioned, those are real thoughts. That's real. That's real. And those are the things I think he's talking about and he's referring to.
No.
How long is that one?
Oh, we added another 30 minutes on there.
That one's not bad.
No, I think it's too long of an episode to do one.
I agree.
1 hour and a half will lose everybody. They'll be like, these guys are boring. I don't listen to them talk for an hour and a half.
But at least we got we talked about the invitationals, we talked about the opens, and we talked about.
And these are all conversations Wyatt and I have had on the road. Like we talk to each other while we're traveling. We get road time. That's one thing you're gonna do.
Another, dude. I didn't even mention that.
Wheel time.
Holy, dude.
Yeah, tell me about it. New York, 27 hours.
Dude, that was 27?
27 hours.
Oh, my gosh. I did not know you drove 27.
Yeah,
I drove Florida was like 18 one way. I mean, 18 there, 18 back. And Maryland was 19 there, 19 back. Wisconsin was 17 there, 17 back. And then those ones were in Missouri, and Oklahoma still wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's so far.
South Carolina was pretty good.
Well, that's what stops. You know what I mean? It's like 25, but by the time you stop and fuel up and everything, you're gonna add a couple.
I
hours.
wouldn't add in stops. I'm not like
no.
That's legitimately
no wheel time. Like actual drive time was probably like 24, 25 hours, but you got 2 hours, 2.5 hours of stops. Yeah. Especially if you travel with the Yeti, York. That man likes to stop and have a meal. I'm like, bro, I like to get a sandwich and roll. He's like, no, man. There's what's that place you like to go to? Nasty.
Dude, I could see him stopping for snacks all the time.
We stopped. Was it Steak and Shake? It was Steak and Shake. He's like, oh, bro, there's a Steak and Shake across the street. Let's go over there. And I was like, all right. So I was thinking we're like.
And he's losing weight. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we go over there, and he's like, look, let's eat inside. I was like, we got 9 more hours of drive left, dude. I'm ready to hit the road. He's like, whatever.
Y'all get 5 days of practice, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah. So we took our time. We make several pit stops, but
the driving aspect, that's a whole nother part.
No,
you got to ask yourself, like when I was asking myself if I really want to do this, that's part of the thought process too.
Yeah. No, it is. Driving doesn't bother me. I like driving. I like seeing new places. That's been so fun. You rudely did not ask me what my favorite event was. I asked you. You didn't ask me.
I already know the answer.
What is it?
You follow.
Nope.
You got second.
That's great.
Which one?
It was fun. It was a blast catching them cranking, but St. Lawrence.
Oh, gosh.
And I finished 59th, which is great. I got good points. I moved up in points.
I forgot about that one.
I had a terrible practice.
Yeah, I was talking to Shane.
I talking to Wyatt.
Not feeling good.
I think that was the first time, like, you were probably, like, a little worried for me. You're like, because I'm like, normally I'm like, oh, I'll be all right.
Well,
like,
I knew
figured
what you
something
were
out.
feeling.
Yeah. It's so different from anything I've ever done. It was freaking me out. And I'm normally one of those guys, like I pick things up pretty quick. I was not picking up the smallmouth game right away. It was freaking me out. I was like, I don't understand why.
Did you leave there with a better understanding?
100%. Like
You
I
could
was
go
just.
do it again.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Send me back. I don't know everything by any means.
You can do all the drifting and shifting and.
Yeah, man. I really want to, dude. It's the scenery up there is amazing. You see 30 foot down, the rock islands, just the scenery, and then the weather. The weather.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's 106 every day here at home.
They were telling me it was hot when we were up there. It was like 82, and it was a little warm in the sun, but dude, in the shade, it's like 70. You eat dinner outside.
Did you wear a hoodie in the mornings or no?
Oh yeah, it was like 55, 60 in the morning.
Goodness.
It was nice. Beautiful weather and smallmouth. The hype is real. Let me tell you something about smallmouth. You always hear the stuff like, oh, they fight so hard, they never give up. Legitimately, they never give up.
No, they don't.
It took me, when I'd hook one over 4, it was about 7 or 8 minutes to get it in.
That's a long time fighting a fish.
I mean,
it's a very long time.
you fight them, and if you're in current, you're half a mile down from where you hooked that fish.
So you didn't spot lock when you're
I
fighting fish?
tried in the tournament. I never did it during practice, and I should have done it during practice, see what it was like. Like first big one I hook in the tournament, I hit spot lock, and that fish went down current from me. No chance of getting it back.
Yeah,
up.
I heard you don't want to hit spot lock when you hook one.
Nope. Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Shouldn't give that away.
The reason I heard that is because Jody mentioned it on the BTL.
I did it. It was just instinct. I hooked one. I wanted to stay where I was so I could drop back on him. That 4-pounder ran downstream of me. I was like, nope. I had to kick my trolling on high and chase it down.
They're freaks, dude.
They're nuts.
It's the current there. The St. Lawrence River is like a totally different smallmouth world. Like, that's not even smallmouth.
No, I think they fight way harder there.
That's a river smallmouth. Like,
yeah.
If you go to Lake Ontario, St.
Which
Clair, that's not the same.
Yeah, they fought hard, but nothing like that in the current.
I'm talking about the fishing in general is not the same.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not the same.
No, I went to Ontario because we went there a day early because I didn't want to drive 27 hours and start practice. So I was like, I'll go there a day early. And we went to Ontario. We get like this perfect day, no wind, go out there. And it was just like, oh, there's fish. Catch those. Oh, there's some more fish. We'll catch those. Oh, there's some more fish. Catch those. It's just totally different. No current.
Usually on a lake.
Yeah, you just look for rocks, whatever, catch them.
Scoping big time.
Yeah, big time scoping. Easy to do. There's a learning curve with that too out there, but I don't want to give all that away. But it's not hard. The river, totally different animal. Guys did catch them scoping. They went further towards the lake. There was less current, but
Jody actually won down there.
Yeah, and that's, dude, like everybody tells you, the closer you get to Lake Ontario, the bigger they get, which is true. But, man, I was catching 5 and 4 to 6 pounders.
Not very far downriver.
No, I think you can catch 20-plus pounds. I think you can catch low 20s anywhere out of that river, anywhere. Now, obviously, your bigger ones.
That run burns guys. It burns some guys I knew of in the Toyota.
Yeah.
But they went out of Messina.
Yeah, man, guys, that's even 20
They were making
further than
They were making
Waddington.
140 to 160 mile runs.
Yeah, I was running an hour before I was fishing, and I wasn't even halfway down to the lake.
Oh, my God.
And
you were at a
hour.
Waddington.
Yep, from Waddington, it was an hour.
And Messina's what, 20-something miles above
20
Waddington?
miles further east, yeah. Those guys are nuts. But, no, we could talk about that forever. But so that was just because it was so different from anything that I've done, and I've proved to myself that I could do it. You know, there's a lot of
uncertainty.
A lot of largemouth guys go up there and get their absolute teeth kicked in because they don't learn it. And there's great largemouth fishing. There were guys targeted largemouth. They're like, I just got to survive this tournament. I'm going to go catch 16, 18 pounds of largemouth, which 16, 18 pounds on St. Lawrence.
Nope.
You need 20.
Need 20.
20 plus. I finished 59th, and I had right at 18 on day 1, and I had right at 19 on day 2.
Yep.
And I finished 59th.
Got to catch them, dude.
It's crazy. But, man, what else we want to talk about? We want to throw in a little hate?
Hate?
A little hate?
What do you mean hate?
The hate on the guide thing, we're going to stay away from that. Staying away from it.
I don't know.
Tell his face.
I don't know, man. I don't want to touch too much on it.
But I think you made a good point.
You
It's
talking
more
about guides in general?
let's simplify it. How does a consumer, a customer of somebody who wants to pay a fishing guide determine who they should spend their money with? I won't even say who's legit and who's not, because it's not fair to call people, because there have been maybe guys that are just starting out in their guide career and they want to get better, and they probably will.
Yeah, that's true. I would just, I think it just takes a little bit of research.
And what would you look for as a customer? Do you think, and this is a valid question, but do you think tournament results is a good indicator of being a good guide?
If you're on a tournament lake, it might help.
Yeah, that's a great point. If you're on a tournament lake,
it gives them some credibility.
Fork's a unique animal because it's got guides that, doesn't really have that many tournaments on it.
Correct.
But there are some great guides out there, and they don't tournament fish because they don't have to.
Well, there ain't no tournaments there.
Yeah, there's nothing there. That's not a tournament lake. That's a lake that you go there to catch a giant.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean, if it's
But Sam Rayburn.
Rayburn is a tournament lake.
People come to guides looking for help with tournaments. I would probably say, and I think you'll agree with this, majority of the calls I get are, I got a tournament coming up.
Yeah, that, but if you just wanted to go catch fish, and you're looking up guides, I can tell you what I would do. Like if I was going up to, a lake up north to go on a smallmouth trip.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. I'm just going to do some simple research, probably look up some stuff on social media.
Look up guides, and then what's your follow-up research? You can look up their tournament results?
It depends if it's a tournament lake.
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence? Yeah, I'm probably going to look at maybe if Chris Johnson and Corey Johnson are offering some trips, might go out with them.
Might go with Jody White since he's filmed everybody out there.
I ain't going to mention anything.
No, man, he earned the win.
He did. And, like that, that's what I'm saying. But, like, Brandon and them went on a trip on Lake Simcoe. And that's not a tournament lake. And they did some simple research and found a really good guide.
Yeah, who was that dude?
I forget his name, but he put them on fish and he did good.
Yeah, they smashed him.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it didn't take them a lot of research to find that guy.
I don't think there's that many smallmouth guides up there too.
Well, that might help, but I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
If I wanted to go on a trip on Lake Okeechobee, and
Chris,
all right,
electronics. Let's focus on the electronics. I think that's what more of the controversy was about.
Electronics are totally different. Okay. Once again, if it's a tournament lake and there's a guy or two that maybe is known to catch them offshore, that probably gives them a little more credibility.
Yeah.
If it's not, you might want to do some research once again.
What about like a Angie's List, but for guides?
Well, I don't even know what that is.
Oh. Angie's List is it's like a site. I don't even really know what it is, but I think the gist of it is that, let's say you're looking for a plumber, you go to Angie's List, and it'll give you recommended plumbers in the area.
Well, that's kind of what people do when they post on these pages.
Yeah, but like this is like verified. So like
Verified.
Angie.
What do you mean verified?
Like they're verified. Like these are verified, credible plumbers. Like these aren't just fly by night.
Got you.
So it's the same thing with electronics, right? Anybody, and this is what's some of the controversy around here is right now, is anybody with a bass boat and a graph can be an electronics guru or can post about being an electronics guru.
No, you're right.
So how do you determine who actually is an electronics guru?
Man, it's
this is for the consumers, right?
I know, yeah. Well, like I said, man, if it's a tournament like that would definitely,
that would be a factor.
It has to be a factor. Not only that, I'm not saying tournament results mean everything because they don't, especially when it comes to that.
There are guides who don't tournament
maybe
fish anymore.
Maybe longevity, like how long someone's been doing it, or talk. You can.
I'm just
talk.
wondering if there's a new system. What about references? What if we had like
you can talk to people too. That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You could talk to people too about who's good and who's not.
Maybe we should start a page with a list of guys. Actually, I don't want to go through all that effort. Somebody should. If you're out there and you're listening and you want to do this, I think this would be a great idea. Create a page or a website that has verified guide. What's the word?
I have no idea.
Like when after you go on a trip and you give a like a review, not a review. There's another word I'm looking for.
Review. I don't know.
Yeah,
A rating?
Testimonial.
Oh,
Testimonial. Like, oh, I went out with Wyatt Frankens. He is an idiot. Nobody's gonna say that, but
no. I mean, yeah. I think there is kind of stuff like that.
where?
I think
If I wanted to go and ask somebody, like, hey,
Like,
man, I'm really
there's-
thinking about going out with this guy.
I've had companies reach out to me that like have a bunch of guides under their deal that they market stuff for you and stuff like that, and they can leave reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've had companies like that I forget what they were called, but I never did it. But
There was one guy who was trying to start that. Actually, he was trying to start a page of guides.
yeah,
But he was wanting to get a piece of the action.
probably you go to their page if they
So
told me
that automatically discredits.
They told me if they led to booking a trip for me, they take a piece.
Yeah, so that automatically discredits because now it's like his motivation is money. His motivation is not finding the best guides. It's money.
Right.
He doesn't care if some guy off the street who's never owned a bass boat before becomes a guy as long as he's getting his money.
I think on the electronics deal, which is a little different, but I've seen some comments about like, it don't take long to, figure out how to dial in a graph on your own, this and this from YouTube. That's true to an extent. I'll be the first to tell you, a lot of these graphs come pretty dang good out of the box.
They really do.
Okay, so when I talk about dialing, dialing in a graph, it's not like I'm doing a lot, but that's really not at all what you get from the electronic strip at all. Like, to me,
No.
That's very little of it. I'm gonna get in your boat and I'm gonna put in the settings that I run on my electronics. If you have a different brand, I'm gonna set it up to the best I think it looks. After that, what we go do and what we talk about, that's the electronic strip.
Yeah.
Not the dialing in. That because they come good enough out of the box where if you didn't touch them,
You really can.
could probably get away with
Plug and play.
pretty much. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, occasionally I run into some like where they did self installs. They
Yeah.
got major issues. They don't have
Absolutely.
enough power.
Yep.
They got interference,
That
and
happens.
then you got to kind of back up. And I have sent some people down to Sam Rayburn Rigging, like, hey man, you need to go.
yeah, you got a problem.
You got to get this
Yep.
sorted out.
I can't tell you how
before-
many live scope transitions I've had to switch over, and they've been on there backwards, and that's coming from the dealership. That ain't the customer's fault. They go pick it up from the dealership. They ain't ever put it in the water. Like,
This
hey
is
man,
true.
check this out. And I'm like, yeah, well, your live scope transition is shooting
Backwards.
shooting at your engine.
Yep.
And they're like,
You're-
what? I'm like, yes.
That's why you
I was
can't
like,
see
yeah.
your bait.
I was like, watch this, and I'll put the trolling motor in the water, and I'll point the head of the trolling motor directly facing me, and I'll throw out in front of the boat. And I'm like, yeah, you see your bait? That's a problem. Like,
it's backwards.
it's backwards. So yeah, I mean, there is stuff like that. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
But really, it's more of like, depth shading and explaining how really it helps you break that stuff down, and like what you're looking for on side of you. Look at what you're looking
Interpretation.
for. Dude, it's all kinds of stuff that helps. Truly, like when I get done with electronic strips, I can't tell you how many times these people leave and they're like, oh my God, I'd have never. Thank God that I
Oh,
went
yeah.
because I
Like,
would
that's
not
a
even
bass?
know. Yeah,
That's what a bass
and a
is?
lot of these guys, they'll book me like multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to just keep learning.
Yep. No, it's
But yes, when it comes to that, man, I think
do your research.
you got to do your research and just ask people, man. Just ask people.
You can. It's pretty easy. I mean, you could Google somebody's name, or the best way to do it is really to go into like organizations like Bass or MLF and look. I mean, that's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a tournament fisherman to be legit.
No, you don't. And then the second follow up would be some testimonials from previous clients. Matter of fact, on that swim bait, that swim bait group, Swim Bait Underground, I see them all the time. Somebody will post like, "Oh, I need a background verification on this guy," and they'll like tag the dude, and everybody in the group be like, "Oh yeah, he's legit. I've bought from him before." His swim baits are good. Maybe we just need a little of that, a little honesty out there.
Yeah,
in the groups.
or really that if you're looking at, hiring a guide, maybe just talk to them.
Yeah, definitely.
You can just
call
talk to each one of them.
Yep.
Because maybe your deal is like, dude, I don't care if you caught him at a bass tournament or not. I don't care about how long you've been doing it. Like, when I talked to this guy on the phone, I just couldn't relate to him. I just don't feel like we'd have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, just talk to him. I mean, just
Yep.
talk to a couple of guides, talk to a couple people that around the area that may know, and then do your own research after that. If you go on a trip and you're not happy, probably try a different one next time.
So, do you offer a master class?
No, I don't have for a master class.
You don't have a master class?
No,
Why not?
because I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, and I don't offer one.
I thought it was a higher level than like regular.
Regular what?
A regular class.
Well, class of what?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either.
Sorry. I just had to poke a little bit.
Why does that saying go? You're a dang. There's a saying. It's like you're good at something, but not a master of all. What is it? You know the saying I'm talking about.
Jack of all trades, but not a master at any.
Yes,
Something like that.
that's me.
You're never a master. You're just average.
I can do it all, dude.
Yeah, I know you can.
I'm about to enter that no electronics tournament.
I know
Go
you
stomp.
can.
I'm about to enter that no electronics tournament and go catch them with no graphs.
All right. I think we've wasted enough of these people's time.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a guest on next time. So we ain't gonna listen to me.
We probably should. I don't think anybody's going to listen to this one because just us. I'll make sure I put that in the thing so you don't have to go through 2 hours
The
of this.
juice is coming back.
No, it's not.
Coming back.
Nope.
4 months, bro.
Yeah, we'll probably be.
We'll be on Spotify. We'll get Shane to upload all that.
I think what we need to do, and if you do watch us, please leave a comment. What if we just didn't do the in-studio thing anymore? We just did it on the road. Like, there's lots of podcasts like
you
that.
can do that.
Like where we just Zoom call into each other wherever we are. Maybe it'd be better.
You can do that.
That way we could do it more frequently because Wyatt never drives down here. And I get it.
This ain't on me.
I live 5 minutes from here. I'll be here any day he
This
wants.
ain't on me.
Any day he wants. Anyway, thanks for watching, listening. This is not going on Spotify because I'm not going to pay. No, actually, I think you can do free if you do you get like 6 hours free a month.
No, we're going back to Spotify.
I was paying like $20 a month for that, and we never even did it, so I canceled it.
We're going back to Spotify.
Wyatt says we're going back to Spotify. I hope he's got the credit card ready.
Spotify and YouTube. Y'all get ready.
All right. Till next time.
Till next time.